What's up guys, this is Zach from Zach Live Reviews, and today I am going to talk about WWDC. Now this video will be in two parts. First will be software and second will be hardware. It was too much to cover all at once, and another thing is, yes, I'll be holding my phone with notes because it was a handful of both hardware and software. So to get started, WatchOS was updated. We got some new faces, some Siri face, a Siri face, and this is more productivity focused, so Siri can find things that are more pertain to you and figure that out better. She has deep machine learning, so she can figure out the weather as you're going from city to city. She can figure out workouts and more. We also get some Toy Story, cool little, to go along with the Mickey Mouse. We also get a kaleidoscope watch face, and other than that, the only other main update we got was Workouts got an update. It has a new UI, some new workouts, and you can also control the music while in a workout. Speaking of music, Apple Music also got an update on Apple Watch, a new UI, and a lot more. And as this rolls out to a developer preview and then the public preview, when it hits public preview, I will be able to show you all of this. So moving on, we now go to macOS. macOS was cleverly named High Sierra. So macOS is going to show off its new Apple file system, which is better, faster, encrypted, the whole story. HEVC video coding, which will allow 40% better compression on stuff like 4K videos. Metal 2. Metal 2 is the next evolution of Metal. Metal is the graphics, basically API for all of the graphics intensive apps, for stuff like Final Cut Pro and more. Now we're at the second life of this, and this is really going to shine on macOS and iOS. Photos editing just got better. You now have curves. You have better sets for editing. However, the main thing is that once you edit on one app, like say you edit on the Photoshop app, well, it syncs across the board over to Photoshop. So if you're editing on Photoshop, it'll sync it over to your Photos app as well. Safari gets more intelligent with intelligent, let me get the name right, Intelligent Tracking Prevention. Intelligent Tracking Prevention is good for being able to not have those tracker ads. So basically an ad blocker that kind of makes those tracking cookies or ads follow you around. Safari is also going to get the ability for autoplay videos to not start autoplaying. No one likes going to those pesky websites where videos just stop playing anyway, so props to Apple for making Safari even better. iMessage across the board will now be able to be in your iCloud. Now, yes, you can upload your iMessages to iCloud and get them on another device, but now it's more intelligent at doing it. Now it's more, a lot faster at doing it. So if you have messages on iPhone, it would load those messages up into the cloud and then only keep the recent messages on your phone. So storage wise, it is a great option to clear out some storage. If you'll still be able to get your messages, they'll be on the cloud, and iMessage will work kind of like Photos, where you can still see those photos, and but they're in a cloud. It doesn't change what app they're in or anything. But iMessage, essentially, this would clear out, I mean, if you look at my iMessage, it's probably like 6 gigs because I never clean it out. So it would basically do that off of phone storage up into iCloud for you. Now, iOS. iOS, this is going to be the biggest portion of the video, and so bear with me. I'm going to have to look at my notes a couple times. So iOS, we're going to start off with Apple Pay. Apple Pay got a lot better. Now it is integrated in iMessage. So say you have a friend, you're going to go out to dinner, you both want to pay for the dinner, but you only want to use one card. Or maybe your friend doesn't have his or her card. Well, now it's a lot simpler. You just go into iMessage, you click the Apple Pay app, and you can just send however much money you want. So that also brings up the Apple Pay Cash. Apple Pay Cash is a card that will be in the Apple Wallet on your phone and allow you to use that card where Apple Pay is accepted. Photos got a refresh as well in iOS as it did in macOS. Only in iOS you get a bounce feature. You get In iOS, you get a bounce feature, you get a long exposure feature, and you also get a loop feature, which is good for those live photos. App Store, this is a mixed feeling one for me. App Store looks kind of good, but it kind of looks chaotic. App Store now looks like an Apple Music had influence over it. But it got a whole new redesign, so that was well welcomed. Siri was one of the things that we've been waiting to get a really good update. Now Siri can also, she got a new voice, the he version of her and the she version of her, got a much more intelligent voice, much on par with other AIs like Google Assistant and Alexa. Siri can also be your virtual DJ. She can help you become more of a personal DJ. She has learned other ways too in Safari, quick typing, and news to better bring you better content and make your experience on iPhone a little bit better. AirPlay has been on iOS devices for a while now, and if you're like me, I use it a lot. I drop stuff into my MacBook, I play music. Well, Apple introduced AirPlay 2 today. AirPlay 2 is just the second gen of AirPlay, where you can actually control whole audio home systems. So each individual room, all from one area in the control center in your phone. So it makes it easier to have multiple speakers throughout your house, different rooms, have different volumes, and it makes it a lot easier for user experience. Control Center got a whole new UI update. Control Center is no longer these 2 or 3 pages. It's all one page, a bunch of 3D touch involved, and a bunch of sliders, and you can look at the picture here, and you can, as you can see, they completely redesigned the interface, and it looks really, really sleek and good to me. Also, they enabled the ability to have animations in this control center, so it's that nice little touch that Apple does that we all love from Apple. Lock screen and notifications. I don't know if anyone is actually going to like this. This kind of is, Apple just can't get it right with this notification tray. You still get your Today view, you still get your notifications, but now when you swipe down from the top of the display where your notification tray would be, it's your lock screen. And your lock screen, you have to swipe up on after sliding down to actually get all of your notifications. And I hope by the time this is released, Apple has figured out a less complicated way to get your notifications. Next up is Do Not Disturb, but the driving edition. So essentially when you use iOS 11 for the first time, after you go for your first drive, you're going to get a notification that says Do Not Disturb driving. And this will allow you to turn on a Do Not Disturb mode while driving, and as Apple showed, it has a cool new mode, and it's literally a black screen. The black screen is them saying you shouldn't use your phone while driving, and they might be correct on that if, you know, you're a bad driver especially. But, so essentially what would happen is you would get a notification anytime you turned on your display while driving. Now, if you're in the passenger seat, you can click that you're not driving. You don't have to enable this mode, but you can. And if someone tries to text you, they're going to get a message. And the message is basically going to say that your phone is in do not disturb driving mode, and that you will get the message when you stop driving. Now, if it is a family emergency or an emergency of some sort, there's a workaround, and they can text back urgent, and the iPhone would allow that message to come through. Maps got a whole new update. Maps, you can now get the speed limit of the road you're on, which is a nice welcome, considering, you know, maybe you just pulled on a road in a different state and you have no idea how fast you're supposed to be going. So now you can just look to Apple Maps and it'll show you. Apple Maps also got floor plans for malls and airports, so you can find security offices, you can see the businesses inside, and it doesn't matter how many floors. It has the multi-floor option as well. Also in Maps you get lane guidance, so those 5-lane crazy highways, Dallas, Texas, I'm talking to you. Apple Maps helps you get around and make sure you don't miss your exit, and helps you move over lanes as you go. So that's a nice welcome as well. Now, that was iOS, basically all for iPhone. Now, all of that does move over to iPad, but there are some new features in iPad alone, and I'm going to list those off right now. iPad gets a dock. Okay, Mac has a dock, and it's really nice to have. You have it on no matter where you are in the operating system, and it's just really intuitive when multitasking. It's really intuitive while needing to drag and drop stuff. And speaking of drag and drop, not only did it get this dock, it got this drag and drop feature where it can go. As I was saying, the dock, sorry, the video stopped recording and I had to fix that. So, you can drag and drop anywhere on iPad. So, if you are in Mail, you can drag from Safari and drop it in there, which is a really, really nice touch. And the dock helps you move about from app to app, multitasking, and it also is smart, wanting kind of guessing of what you're going to do next, and I'm pretty sure it has handoff. It looked like it did. Now, Apple has a new multitasking way with the dock, and also when you take a screenshot now on iPad, it will take that and put it in the far corner, and you can click that little thumbnail and it'll bring up a new menu. Now, if you have Apple Pencil, you can draw on the screenshot, or you can just share the screenshot right then and there, and it's a lot more intuitive. Files. Okay, so on Mac you have Finder, which you can get all your files, and for a long time we've complained about iPhone and iPad not having a file system. Apple has finally opened that up, and you also get cloud-based as well. So if you have Dropbox, Box, or Google Drive, iCloud, all of those you can tie into the file system, so that when you're, say, writing an email and you need an attachment from your Dropbox because someone sent it to you via Dropbox, you can then drag it from that file, and you can find it all in that file system, which makes it really, really nice to have. And it's nice to see Apple kind of showing that iPad is technically a computer of sorts. Now with iPad, you can take a picture of a photo and sign, and you can take a picture, iPad can straighten it up and everything for you, and then you can just sign your document, save it as a PDF, and mail it on its way. The last topic of iOS 11 is Augmented Reality Kit. Apple has built a kit for augmented reality, and so now we see the phase of Apple is actually pursuing an AR dream. AR is now going to be able to, you can point your phone or tablet at the at a desk, and as they showed on the WWDC event today, you can build this whole world, and it was really, really great. I implore you to go look at the video. Now, I don't know if I stated earlier, macOS is getting VR support, so that's a nice little thing there. tvOS is our last topic of this segment of the video, tvOS is going to be able to play Apple or Amazon Prime Video straight within the TV app. There wasn't much other than that was updated via Apple TV. So thank you for joining me for part 1 of software. Click right here if you want part 2, or find the link in the description below. Thanks, guys.